Hey, Dr. Gigglez here from Hauntapolooza PODCAST. Today, this is the episode number 2. We got the crew from 13th Row. We got Rich, we got Nell, we got Jason, and I'm sorry I don't know your names at the end.
Caitlin.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna break it down. We're gonna be talking about how they got into the industry, talk about everything else, and see what happens. So, to you guys, how did you guys get into what made you guys get into the haunting industry? What did you guys do? What was the, anyway?
Well, in reference to me, Zeke and I started doing this at the age of about 13, 14. Zeke's behind the scenes, doesn't like the spotlight. We got into this, we were volunteering at a sportsman's club for their fundraiser, and kind of started there and led to where we are.
My whole thing with it was my nephew. He had joined a year prior to me, and he was kind of on me to, come on. And then all of a sudden, my daughter Caitlin here decided like, come on. So I did, and this is where we are. I mean,
So the kid sucked in.
The kid sucked me in.
Let me tell the truth to the story. So this is his nephew Jay. So, from what I'm told, his mother's name is Karen. She said Jay didn't want to play any sports. She was sick of him being in the house. She said, I don't care what you do, but you better figure out what you're going to do and get the hell out of this house. And he said, well, I want to volunteer at 13th World, or Haunted Hill. And she said, well, fine, whatever it is, as long as it gets you out of the house. And that's what got Jay there, and Jay brings everybody with him.
Wow, well, there you go.
Jay is responsible.
Thank you, Karen.
Right, Karen, because she pulled it off. She's actually also responsible for this. I mean, it's.
But we did thank Karen. We gave her a daughter. That was our give back. So,
Oh, there you go.
so she got a kid in the deal. So that works out.
Yeah, lovely daughter. She's the future.
Yeah, the children are the future.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it going, because if not,
You
it
gotta-
dies.
yeah.
You don't want it to die. You don't
Yeah.
want it to die.
Nope.
So, let me ask you, Rich. Obviously, what did you start with? Obviously, it's not, you just did, hey, here's 13th World.
So Zeke and I, first of all, Zeke's taking a picture of me, so. He's gonna edit this anyway.
Maybe I won't.
Yeah, why not? So,
Yes.
Zeke and I started doing this because we just enjoyed doing it. We did it, actually, it was the first year wasn't Sportsman's Club. We started in the Heights, right? In the project? No Sportsman's Club first? I don't even remember, it's so long ago. But we started doing it and we just wanted to do it because we enjoyed doing it, same reason why everyone else does it. The time came when we decided, well, I had a friend of mine that worked for the town that was looking for a way to raise money, fundraiser. So we talked with him, met with the town, and we agreed upon, doing a Halloween attraction for the town to raise money for youth programs and stuff.
That's awesome.
And that's how we got started.
Giving back.
Giving back. Saving the tax.
Because I noticed
$8.
since I came into the fold, you guys do work a lot with the town, like different events and stuff, so.
Yeah.
So it started out originally as Haunted Hill.
Haunted Hill was the original name.
Now, how long did that last, as Haunted Hill?
I believe 15 years? No, 14 years? 14
And
years.
then you changed over to 13th World.
Well, if anyone knows how politics plays a part in things,
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened. It got to a point where the town no longer wanted to go the direction they were going. But we wanted to continue things. In order to continue things, we had to do it on our own. So we had to rebrand, restart up, and upfront all the money ourselves. And that's kind of why it got rebranded from Haunted Hill 13th World, and that's kind of where we are now.
That's awesome, because it's great to see that you took the bull by the horns and just did it.
Well, we weren't gonna, I mean, the first 14 years, everyone just like us, it was a volunteer thing, we just enjoyed doing it, So it was a game changer to switch over and rebrand it, because now we're upfront in the money, people want to get paid, now we were able to pay people because we actually were getting door money, ticket money and stuff, so. It's been a little learning curve, but, now it's been 6 years, we feel like we got it under wraps, so.
Well, you guys do a great job, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, I remember though, that 1 year, remember when you DJ'd Jimmy and Danielle's wedding?
Yes.
And they met you.
My favorite couple, yeah.
And they told you right to your face that that year
That
before
1 year.
sucked.
Yeah, that was, I think they came the opening night, that was the 1 year that, I believe, that was the opening year for Sisters of Salem, and the first night was awful.
It was horrible.
And I remember Nell, at the end of the night, yelling at every one of the actors. I tried to explain to Nell, he doesn't need to yell, but that's what Nell does.
Yeah.
He motivates by talking to him that way
But-
sometimes.
On the upside, we all went the following year and you redeemed.
Thankfully, I had to persuade you guys with free tickets to come back.
We were coming back regardless, and you know that.
Yeah,
You was the
well,
nice guy, but
You know, I think once we connected at the wedding and talked Halloween, you understood my passion, I understood yours.
Yeah.
And, you know, better explaining our situation, you know, you have, I think that those years were the beginning of
Yeah,
when we
it is
switched
right.
over to 13th
Yeah.
Club. And I think there was a little bit of roadblocks here and there, but
you know, I guess you have to learn and fall on your face to eventually become successful.
yeah,
Because I noticed, I mean, for me working just last year and seeing how the operation worked, like you guys were like killing it, like things were, I mean, at first things were kind of little, I think that's every year. I think, you know what I mean, like every season, you gotta get them jitters out because you got new people coming in and don't know what they're doing.
yeah.
And then, and like I said, I'm sure you've watched the videos, I came out with one like a week ago about things that I learned about working at 13th Row.
Yeah.
And I think the next one's what I loved. But I learned a lot because if someone like me before doing reviews and you've never worked in a haunt, you don't know what it takes to build, to act, to do it on the grind every single night. I mean, I was like killing myself, falling down, busting my ass, you know what I mean? Like I was going crazy, and I'm like, I have a newfound appreciation for actors and everybody from behind the scenes and everything, because you don't know until you do it.
Right,
And
exactly.
and to anybody that's a reviewer that's never worked in a haunt, get off your ass and work at a haunt,
It-
because
It's hard to be a real review if you haven't actually,
yeah, because it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
I loved haunted attractions since I was little. They used to take me to the monastery when I was a little kid, and, you know, Cumberland.
Yeah.
And there used to be a firehouse that used to do one in Cumberland when I was little. I don't remember where, but, you know what I mean? You gotta do it, because if not, because now it changes how I review haunts.
Yeah.
Totally, because now I gotta look, like, why is that actor not doing it? Does the actor suck? Or is they having a bad night? Or they just can't get it going? I don't know.
yeah.
Like I tell everybody, go, even if it's for one season, or even a couple weekends, go do it.
And you know doing it every night's slightly different.
Yep.
You know, your energy level is reflective of the audience and how they're reacting to you.
Oh, yeah, because if you're not getting the pops or the reactions, it brings you down.
Yeah.
Like, what did I do wrong? Why aren't I getting them pops? And you gotta try to, on the fly, ad-lib and figure it out.
Right, and that's why I would say Fridays and Sundays, we seem to draw an older crowd. And I feel like those crowds are a little bit harder to scare, so you gotta kind of play them a little differently. Where on Saturday, you get a lot more families, where you get dads coming with their 12-year-old daughter and all her friends, and
Yeah.
they get scared of everything, and it kind of gets your energy going and stuff, and it makes it a lot easier for you and more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the new model that I've been living, and I told you this, if you can't scare them, make them laugh. That's why-
entertainment is entertainment.
Yeah, because for me, like in the clowns, people are afraid of clowns. People, but,
Yeah,
and it's that mental thing, but clowns are also so meant to be funny. So if you can't scare them and you make them laugh, you won either way.
Tickle time.
Yep, tickle time. And be prepared for more
So-
tickle time. So let's move on to how the Sisters of Salem thing started, because I remember I went to Haunted Hill back in the day. Didn't even, well, you know. And then with this, and then Sisters of Salem pops up. So how did that get going?
Well, it was kind of, I was doing Hellraiser at the time. And we had put a nun in the set.
Why don't you move over there? We're talking a lot anyways.
But the fact of the matter is, we were doing Hellraiser and we put a nun in the set. And I was not there that season for some odd reason. I didn't feel the whole Hellraiser thing. I didn't feel like it's where I needed to be. But when we put that nun in that set, she got the pops. And
That
it
nun
was
was
easy in
so-
the hallway, because that was the year between when you put Pinhead and Michael Myers back to back. But she was the one that was getting the pops in the middle. And it was working. And that's when I came to you and said, hey, maybe we should do something with nuns.
She being
Sisters of Salem.
No, she being your wife was the nun.
Right. And what?
Just want to make sure Bob gets her shout out.
And the fact of the matter is, when we did that, it worked. And then when you named it, that was it. It all came together.
That's all. You just need to give Nell a name and it runs. It's good. I'm running with that.
Yeah, hey, well, let me tell you, like, when I've seen, like, not last year, well, this is 21, so 2019, when you started Touch of Fear. When you started that Touch of Fear, and then when we went through Sisters of Salem, it was crazy, like, especially with the Touch of Fear thing. Like, I know, like, we filmed the first night. Like, you could tell the we were talking about it, but the actors were kind of like trying to get you to doing enough Touch of Fear.
Yeah, you shouldn't even came the first
Am
night.
I the only one noticing the nun behind us? Am I the only one noticing the nun?
What are you talking about? I don't even see
Yeah, I don't see
anything.
that. What are you talking about? There's nothing here.
There's nothing. I don't see anything
Trying to
here.
listen to Josh looking at a nun.
I don't even see it now, I don't know what you're talking about.
With the whole Sisters of Salem thing, and when we went with it, I mean, yeah, we were on edge the first year. We didn't know what was gonna happen. Could it possibly, like, shut the whole trail down? We didn't know. You're playing with a religious thing.
Which we never did up to that point.
Right.
He does love that stuff, but we just didn't play with it enough.
Well, because I know, like, when I've talked to other haunted attractions, a lot of them don't want to touch it. Because they're afraid of the repercussions of the people coming through. Are they offended? Are they, you know, whatever it is. But I noticed though, with back to the Touch of Fear, when I went to the closing night,
Yeah.
everybody was firing off on all cylinders.
Right.
The demon priest guy was fake raping my wife. And it was awesome. I had the camera all in there, and I was like, this is awesome, keep going! You know what I mean? Like, it was just awesome. Because you had all the nuns and the demon priests and everything, and they're just yanking people, and it was just chaos.
Yeah.
And I loved it, so that's why it's just like, because to me, when you have something like Sisters of Salem setting off your haunt, like the detail guy that you guys were putting into it, and what you guys are doing this year, coming, like, you guys always up the ante every time that I've gone there, you guys have stepped up.
Yeah, you can't keep it stale. You can't go with the same thing you went with last year. There are certain things that you stay with. There are certain things that you try in that set. If it doesn't work, okay, well, you just let it go its course for that season. But when you go to the next season, you know that you need to change things.
Yeah.
And you need to build that up year after year after year after year. I mean, if you're gonna stay with the same name, you just can't stay with the same set. You
No, you have
need
to
to
change
build that. You have to change it so it can adapt.
Yeah.
And if you have really good actors,
It makes
in which
sense.
all my girls are great actors, and they can adapt to a situation quickly.
Yeah, that's something that you definitely need.
Yes.
Because you guys all know, and I know just by working for you guys, I would say probably 90% of your actors are like on point. You're always, you're never
You're
gonna.
always gonna have that one that's off for her night.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's
people,
okay.
I mean, I enjoyed working with everybody that I work with. I mean, a lot of friends working with you guys, and I see all the progress of everybody building up. And I just like the environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
It's
knew
a-
that I knew coming in you were gonna like the environment.
Well, it's, you know what it is?
It's your
'Cause-
thing, man.
Yeah, I know, but
I love this stuff.
I know, but for me, like, I've dealt with different hobbies, like roller coasters and pinball. There's a lot of assholes that just cause drama, cause chaos. I'm sure that there's some in the haunt industry. As of yet, I haven't come across them, which is nice. I mean, the roller coaster thing was like, bam, right away. All the drama, and I'm like, I want that in my life. Like, I feel comfortable, like I'm at home with you guys, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm
Welcome
actually,
home, kid.
I know, I feel like I'm
Tingle time! Tingle time!
I feel like I'm one of the guys, you know what I mean, like one of you guys. I just have fun and I love learning and watching and seeing you guys. I mean, like, look at this set. That's, well, whatever, that we can't talk about yet, again, but.
Right.
Sneak peek.
Yeah, sneak peek, but I
It's a
mean,
sneak peek.
yeah, you're getting a sneak, little
Sneak
taste.
peek of the frontal.
Right.
Yeah.
And with saying that Sisters of Salem is actually going further this year, it is. We brought in Jason, which did Skin on Farms last year.
Yeah, that set was nuts too.
That was a very nuts set, and he did a great job.
I love the poop area. Of all the places, I mean, the facade of that thing was beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
That thing was insane.
He is very great on detail also. By bringing him into Sisters of Salem because it's a family thing, I think that makes that more aggressive. And I think it's gonna make the whole set entirely better. Because that set now is becoming more family oriented
Yeah.
than anything. Which I have Caitlin over here, which is, she's my lead flyer.
I know, she does
She
crazy stuff.
is good, she is
For the
crazy.
first time I seen her, I was like, oh,
She-
like, I was like freaking out.
then we have-
I never seen it.
And then we have my second daughter here, Peyton. I call her my daughter, she's not blood, but she's my daughter. She's our backup flyer, and she does a great
Yeah,
job too
she
also.
flew quite a bit this year.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give those girls props because that snowstorm that we had,
Oh, yeah.
yes, those girls got up there and they flew. I will give them
That
that.
snow was crazy.
That was, yeah. Zeke was up there actually shoveling to make sure that, they gotta get up there, they gotta get up there.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, that's the thing that I like about what you're doing with Sisters of Salem.
Yeah.
You always bring it to the next level.
Well, you have to, you
Yeah.
have to, you can't lay down. You can't lay down and like, okay, this is great, we're doing great, so let's just stay where we're at now. What I expect for my girls, and they all know this, even my daughter will know this, Jason knows this, Peyton knows this.
Can't be the same every single day.
If this
Every single night, no, what you did last night no longer matters. Step it up tonight.
Yep.
And they do every single night, they step it up, and they'll find their characters.
Yep. I mean, I noticed that. Well, not last year, because it was weird. I didn't get to fully go through the set at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you wild in the spectrum last year.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but yeah. So I didn't get to see Sisters of Salem in action. I'm a little disappointed about that.
Well, yeah.
I'd be too. I mean, we had people that, like, a friend of your wife's actually seen, and she went through the sets, and she actually made a compliment to your wife, stating that the set was awesome.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of compliments.
Yeah.
We got, so all the sets for the most part.
All the sets were great.
Yeah.
I mean, for what we had to go through last year with the COVID and all that stuff, I think the Haunt as a whole did awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to stay distanced, everybody had to just, do what we had to do, and it was an area where we're not used to.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
especially with that snow that we had that night.
Yeah.
Well, the 2 nights that there was still snow on the ground.
Right.
I was like, what can I do with the snow to not get in trouble and not hurt anybody? So I was making snowballs and pegging them at the top so they'd bust on top of people.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they did it with a silly
You
string.
gotta do that.
Yeah. No, I made sure I didn't aim it at anybody, but, no, it was good, so, but I mean,
Right.
I'm still disappointed I still didn't see Sisters of Salem in action. I'm making it a point that I'm doing it, even if I have to go,
You're
even
gonna have
if
to
I have to
do
go
a
through
video.
in costume before, you know what I mean, like if I'm the
Yeah.
first person, just
Yeah,
I wanna see it,
We don't let clowns in our set.
but I wanna clown around.
So,
Well, if this video does nothing else, it's gonna show you a dedicated actor. Because we haven't none that's been pretty dedicated.
where are you seeing a nun? I
No,
don't
we didn't
get
see
this.
it.
Should have been.
I don't see
have
one.
She
no-
is not like, she's bent to the gimmick to a T.
You know what? Maybe he can see dead people.
I can.
I can't see dead people.
Dude, you can't see the nuts back yet?
Yeah, I see 2 nuns, that's all I
That's
got.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, those 2
They're
nuns?
just standing still.
Yeah, they're playing their part good. They're doing what their job they're supposed to do.
All right, just sit there.
Don't move. Just stay there, don't breathe, follow along this is. You may die, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with Sisters of Salem, is there anything that you want to tell about this year, or you're keeping it until later? Top secret.
It's gonna be top secret.
Something.
I'm giving you guys something right now, just with this frontal,
Yeah.
and that's as far as we're gonna go with it.
But you're gonna be bigger.
Yeah, we're actually taking up.
You doubled in size every year.
We do. Is it a stretch? Yeah, it's a stretch every year, and somehow we pull it together.
It's-
I mean, I have my personal reasons for it. Why every year that we keep pulling it, you know,
Yeah,
better
yeah.
and better.
Let it out the bag, tell us.
Yeah, what's the personal,
Yeah, tell us.
what's the personal love of labor, what's the personal thing that you kinda hide? He holds it to the chest.
Yeah, it does, I do.
Yeah.
And it's closer to the heart than anything,
Yeah,
okay? When I was younger, okay, I came from a huge religious family, huge. To the point where my grandmother said rosaries every day, 3 to 4 times a day. And I remember
that's
this.
dedication.
Right, that is dedication. And when I was like 8 or 9, and I remember that question, and it still gets me today, and I said, why do you say so many rosaries a day? Because we're kids, you don't want to know, right? We're all curious. And she's like, well, when I get sick, the good Lord will come and take me and not make me suffer. Well, here's the thing, here's the key. And it may offend people, it may not offend people. But the fact of the matter is, I watched her suffer for like 3 to 4 years. So to me, at that point in time, and that kicked in, this is why we're here today. Okay, because it doesn't matter to me. This is my dedication to her.
Oh, so this whole thing was this your grandma or your?
My grandma.
Oh, so this is like basically, kinda like a love letter to your grandma.
It is, and to be honest with you, it's probably the wrong love letter, but here's my thing. She loved Halloween. That was like one of her biggest holidays besides Christmas Eve. Here's the other key is, my aunt's a nun in Canada.
Oh, God.
Okay, so yeah, I'm pushing that fence, but this is my dedication to her because I didn't feel it, and when I watched her suffer, this is my,
Yeah, it's
to
your,
her.
yep,
You know what I mean? I'm here, I'm doing this, and that's that.
yep, and
And it's the reverse of religion, what we're doing.
yeah,
But when you ask that question and something happens that wasn't supposed to, you will get that reverse.
oh, yeah, because it's like, oh, you believe your grandmother that Lord's gonna take me and everything, you know what I mean? And then you watch the tragedy of it happen, you're like, oh, this is,
Right.
what I might say right now might offend people, but it's gonna be like, this is bullshit. When it comes to religion, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I get it, my father's an atheist, and he's just like, I don't believe in any of that, but when, in your case, when you see that,
Right.
that pulls your heart right out of it, that's messed up.
It is. And I have to be thankful for meeting Rich and Zeke. Thank you, Jason. Because they gave me this opportunity to bring this forward. Played pinhead for a couple of years. Just wasn't feeling it anymore, and this is where we're at. And I hold everything to Jason, Rich, and Zeke for allowing me to do what I do.
That's because they're all good guys, is what?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That smells pretty good. No, I mean, for
You
real.
get it. You get it. I mean, it's just, you just gotta go with it.
That's all you can do is go with it. Just do it.
That's it. She's
Like
in.
you told me.
She's
you told
in
me
front.
before- Yeah, you told me when we were talking about building the concept,
Yeah.
you're like, go from the gut, trust your instincts, do
Right.
what feels right to you, not what anybody else.
Right. You could have other people that have their comments and opinion about your set, but you need to go from here.
Yep,
If it's not coming from here,
don't do it.
it's not gonna work for you.
Yep. No, I know.
But it has to come from down here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That's like, there are people, actors are like, oh, you should do this, and you should do that, and I go, don't even talk to me about it,
Right.
because I'm doing it my way, if you don't like it, I don't care.
well, there's also things that, like, with Rich and Zeke, that they'll come to me like, hey, why don't you try this or try that? And I will take it into consideration.
Yeah.
I mean, because they've been in the business longer than I have.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Well, I mean, for
So
me,
those
I
are the
was.
guys guys you wanna listen to.
Oh, yeah. Not Tom, Dick, and Harry, that's just an actor for the season.
Yeah,
No, it's, obviously I would trust yours and Zeke's and his opinion over just somebody I just met, it's an actor, that think they got an idea.
right.
Because for me, with this year, I have something to prove to you guys and myself. Well, not only tickle time, but can I do this? Like him, with the labor of love with Sisters of Salem, like, he just told us the story of what it's all about. Like, it's the dedication. Well, for me, I mean, I don't really have a dedication, I mean, I just love clowns, but I want to see that I can do it. And then, hopefully make you guys proud that what I put out there is good. It could suck. You might go, dude, get out of here, burn it down.
If you prove it to yourself, then you prove it to everyone.
Right.
Yeah, no, and that's what he's doing with proving to you and him and himself and in the memory of his grandmother for this.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's touching. It's pretty cool actually. Especially because it actually has it's the love letter.
Yeah.
It's the love letter to his
Right.
grandmother, and there's nothing
And
better.
if anything that I can tell you, one thing is,
YMCA.
Zeke wants to make sure we just talk to Jay, Caitlin, and Dayton.
okay, right after this one, okay? The one thing that you need to understand with haunting is go from you go. Listen to people that have been in it longer than you,
Yep.
and you'll be successful, okay? That's all I'm gonna say.
You know who I'm gonna listen to, number one? The best person to talk to about haunting? That one right there. That one gives me all the goods.
She gives you the goods.
She gives me the goods, she tells me all the secrets.
There you go.
That's who I trust right there.
Right,
That nun in the back.
right. So let's get on to the young group that's actually
The
taking
future of the
over.
horn industry.
Yeah, this
Salem,
is
yeah.
the future right here.
Yeah,
This is
People
the
that
future.
have found it.
So, Jay, obviously you got into it just on a whim. You wanted to try something out, then you got him in it. So, before you decide that, did you have a love for haunts or just try it?
Since I was young, we came to Haunted Hill, which was 13 well, before. And yeah, I mean, we were going to it since I was a kid, so we just started to go. And eventually I joined, I got a hold of it. It was Rich or Zeke, and they told me to come down, and ever since then I've been doing it.
So, my next question is, because like I said earlier, when you guys were briefly just talking about Skin and Farms, how did you get into, because not just anybody can theme really good. I draw stick figures, I can't make things, you know what I mean? I'm lucky, I got people that can help me, you know, theme things better, make, paint things good and stuff like that. So, well, how did you get into, like, getting in a good skill like that? Because that's not common.
I wrote like a 5-page book about it.
Really?
Yeah, I sat in bed like every single night. I wrote like a little book about it, about what, because it was me and my stepdad at the time doing it, and then we just built off of it, And I wrote like a story about 2 brothers that got burnt, and then
That's
and
cool.
And they were older, And it was back in the day. We kind of kept it older, farm theme. A lot of people were in the farm industry older, like back in the day, so.
Yeah, because like I said, when I seen your facade, I was blown away at like the detail on it. It was like crazy. Like I mean, eventually I could learn to do that. I mean, it's all in practice and learning and stuff. But it seems like, because you're young, you're not an older guy like me and him. You're what, 17?
Yeah.
So you've been working on this for I don't know how many years, but you've been working on it and you've been practicing your craft, obviously.
Yeah, since I was like 13, and Zeke, I gotta give props to Zeke though. He helps me out a lot. Gives me some good pointers, and so does this guy right here.
you know what? I'm gonna go take off behind the camera because it's your three's time. Because you guys are our future of 13th World. And
One more count.
Oh, you poor guy. You poor guy.
That's why I love
You got shoes to fill now.
it. Yeah, right? So, then, let's see. And then I told Caitlin about it, my cousin Caitlin. And then she was like all up for it, and I told her we'll come down. She ended up not being able to make the meeting that year. And so she wasn't able to do it, so the next year, my uncle, my aunt, and they all came down, and we kind of made it a thing. He started Sisters of Salem, I did Skin and Farms, and now we're kind of colliding to make a really, he took over my part of the trail, and now we're just gonna build off of it. We're gonna make something big, we're gonna make a whole city, And it's
That's,
just
I
gonna
mean,
be
it's
great.
crazy, because I mean, you guys had the 1-2 punch last year, what I call it last year, when you had Sisters of Salem, and then we moved into you, so the future is definitely bright, because you got the skills to be able to, once Nell goes, I'm done, I'm out, I'm retired, I'm out, they don't have to worry, if you wanna continue Sisters of Salem, which I'm sure you will, you know what I mean, but you got the skill to keep it going, and keeping the quality, just taking it to the next level, so I feel very confident, especially with you three, because I've seen you guys flying all the time, and I've seen what you guys do in Skin and Farms. The future's bright for 13th Ward, because people always worry about that as we call the elders, they start disappearing off, they retire, they're out, and then you're like, uh-oh, what do we do? But, nah, we're good.
You know, once you do it for so long, you get the gist of it and you get the hang. And it just gets easier, you know. A lot of people think acting is like, oh, what if I mess up? And usually, if you mess up, it usually ends up it's better for you, you know.
Yeah, because one, you have to think quick. You gotta ad-lib quick to try to fix the wrong, to make it right, and then...
And every single group's different, they all react different, and you just gotta...
Yeah, and I realized that, like, when I was working, like, the crazy people that would come through. Like, there was that one night, I'm sure you guys don't remember, when the guy was just trying to square up with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I almost got decked, and then once somebody did get decked, and then it was like, what's going on? It's like this crazy crowd, and you're trying to work the crowds based off of what you think. I know I didn't get it right every time, but it's...
Nobody does. I mean, you have your good nights and your bad nights, like Rich said, but just... You're just trying to have fun. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you're here for.
That's like
You're just
when
trying
we
to
have like
fun, you
little,
know?
yeah, like what I do, like when we have little clown meetings, I would tell them, rule number 1, have fun.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is not serious. This is not serious.
No, I said have fun, if you're not having fun, get out.
You're not.
You're torturing yourself, not having fun.
Yeah.
Now, my next question to you is, when you take over from Nell, you're the head cheese, and you continue Sisters of Salem, you're gonna you have future ideas of different themes, and you just wanna keep adding on. Because eventually, you're gonna be one of the guys at 13th World that not only are you designing Sisters of Salem, you're gonna design other things. You have like a dream theme.
We are very different. I'm more towards the bloody stuff. I like a lot of blood in the sets and stuff, and
Yeah.
that's why you could see with the 13th night with when I did Skin and Farms, you seen there was a lot of blood. There was body parts. There was skeletons hanging off the walls and
Yeah.
pigs hanging off the walls, and I had that shit room and the toilets, and it stinked in there like crap. Yeah. I like more of the gory stuff, like body fluids and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And he likes to clean cut, and
Yeah.
but I have no problem with that. I don't as long as we're having fun. I don't care what the set looks like, but if I take over, it'll probably be more on the bloody side, but we'll try to keep it the same, you know.
Yeah. Well, you'll inject your little signature into
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I know
get
we
where
are.
you're going.
Yeah, we are gonna do one room that is gonna be bloody this year, and that's probably gonna be my room, but other than that.
That's cool. So, what got, I mean, obviously you two decided to go. What got you to want to fly? Was that something that he now suggested, or was it just something you wanted to do, or somebody brought it to you?
When he told me about the Sisters of Salem, they had like the whole setup of flying, and my dad suggested that I do it. And I wasn't so sure at first. I was scared.
I'm scared
Because
for you.
at the time I was afraid of heights, and I would have panic attacks when I was too high off the ground. And
I can imagine that. That's crazy.
he flew before me.
Really?
He helped out the person before me, and then
That was a bad one.
then he was like, it's fine, it's not too high up. Once you jump off, it's like, you're fine,
How long did we
you
sit
feel
there?
safe.
We sat there for 20 minutes trying to get her to jump off the side. I told her it wasn't that bad, and then she finally jumped off. And she
Yeah.
got it from there, and now she kicks butt. She's better than me. She flies backwards and stuff like that, does 360s and stuff, and then
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
crazy.
the times that I've gone through Sisters of Salem with you guys flying, you guys kill it, because the first time I ever seen it, I was like, things almost, knocking into me. And obviously you're not, but you're high enough. I'm like, whoa. You got the reaction that you guys wanted out of people. Because I see it all the time. And then you know, I've read reviews of, you know, other people like, oh, flying nuns, like, it's just crazy. And I'm glad to see that, you know, you guys are continuing on this thing. And what made you get to want to be a flying nun? Did she just drag you along, like, hey, come on, or did you just say, hey, I want to just work here, or?
Well, I've been friends with her for a while, so like they've been like, trying to get me to do it. And the first time they asked me, I was a little scared, so I waited. And last year was the first year I did it, so I was scared the first time I was gonna like fly, so I sat there for a little bit, cause I was like,
I can imagine.
I'm like afraid.
I think if I was the one to do it, I think I'd still be standing there.
Yeah, that's
'Cause I don't think
how it is.
good for me. If I flew, you don't want this fat guy to come flying on you. I might snap the line and land on you. It's just not, you know. So I give you guys a lot of credit because I don't think there's things in life that I won't do, like bungee jumping and stuff like that. I won't jump out of a plane. But like to do that though, I mean, you're not 100 stories. You're probably what 20 feet,
Yeah.
something like what is that? About 20, 15?
25 maybe. It's what is that? 3 stories basically. It's technically 3 stories, correct?
Yeah, a little bit. Probably 25.
So it's so about 25 feet, and once you're dropping down face first on that, you know, and
Yeah,
you're
it's
still
scary.
gonna grab the other side of the bar, and you know, you get those groups that just come through one time, but they don't see you. You got to keep on going. It's not just one time.
Oh, you get one time to kill somebody.
But you know, once you get 1,000 people a night, you're doing that 1,000 times.
That's crazy. Now, I don't want to be morbid or jinx it. Has there been any, like, somebody got hurt from doing something like a move wrong?
It takes a toll on our body. It processes differently for both of us. Like I can handle more pain, but she can't. It takes a toll differently.
Now, do you guys have like some like, I don't know, like elbow pads or something underneath your
We
costumes? Or
get
something?
pads. We have these shirts and they have pads because the harnesses, they like pull on your ribs when you fly.
Yeah, because when I watched the video, I think it was you flying, and I watched the video and you can hear it just smacking into the
Yeah.
thing, and I'm like, oh my god, like, are they alright? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if I could do it once. I think I'd be too, I'm a little fragile now, I might fall apart. I don't know, you guys, like I said, you guys do a great job, and I can't wait to see now, are you guys gonna continue to be flyers for the foreseeable future, or do you wanna try different things, or?
I'm flying again this year. She doesn't know what she's going to yet, just because she got hurt really bad last year. Like she got a new vest and it was pinching her, pulling on her ribs, and her legs got all bruised. And one night she had to come down and she had to have ice packs right here because the pain was so bad, and I
Yeah,
was
that's
up there
crazy.
flying for the rest of the night, and it was pulling on my ribs. But I stayed up there just for the
Wow, pain tolerance, who would ever think a pain tolerance is so like, it's two different sides of the spectrum. You got, you can take more, you can't take as much, and then you're getting hurt, everybody's getting bruised. I mean,
Yeah.
the first night I worked, within the first 20 minutes, I had fallen, slid across the ground, busted my knee, and my knee hurt the entire season.
Yeah.
I mean, so you gotta try to get that adrenaline rush to keep going. It's crazy.
That's the best thing about flying is the adrenaline rush. It helps a lot when you look down and you turn around and you see all those people on the ground, or like they're screaming and running away. It really helps you.
Yeah, it makes
keep
it all
going
worth
through
it,
the
yeah, it
night.
makes it all worth it,
Yeah.
yeah. But, how about the next day when you wake up?
Oh, yeah. It takes a while to get used to waking up and being all sore, like your muscles are
Yeah.
trying to shift themselves so that you can do that every single night for a whole month.
I ended up having to go in the hot tub every day before going, because my body, I mean, I'm old now, but, you know what I mean? I'm not young and spry like you guys that can just keep going and taking a beating.
Yeah.
I'm running around, and I'm fat and out of shape, so it takes a bigger toll out of me, so I'm just like, ah, God. Then I wake up, I'm like, I don't wanna get out of bed, so you guys know the pain.
Yeah, we both do soccer too, so we have.
You're in way better shape than
Yeah,
I
we
am.
have soccer, we have the practice during the summer, and then we have tryouts, and then we have the soccer season while 13th World is going, so it's kind of helping us. Like,
Right, it's
we already
keeping your
have
body,
muscle build,
yeah, you're already getting your body
and our,
conditioned.
yeah, our body's in condition, so it just helps us fly as we're going.
That's good, yeah, see, it's good to be a kid and in sports and then doing that, because it's just gonna help you. I wish I did sports or something, it might help me, I don't know, maybe look at some weights at the gym or something, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. So what else do you guys see in your future working at 13? What are the things that you want to try or do, or, future talk? You may have, may not, but like dream things you want, like I asked him.
Well, eventually, my body's not gonna be able to take the pain anymore, because the more I keep doing it, the more it hurts every year. And this will be my 3rd year doing it. So, my first year, I did it all through the night, the full 4 hours, every single night. And it took a toll. It was fine, I did it by myself. And I had motion sickness, so I would have to sit for a second, take a break. And then the second year came along and I couldn't do it all night long. It was just too much, and then I brought her in. We would switch out halfway through the night. So eventually I'm not going to be able to do it for as long. So eventually I'll come down, give it to someone else, which we already have a couple people in mind who we have practicing during the summertime. And eventually I'll just step down and I'll help them build and maybe act a couple of nights.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But, hey, plus you could be like the coach.
Mm-hmm.
You could be like, hey, this is how you do it, this is how you don't do it, don't do this, do this.
Yeah.
Veteran of the group.
Teach people.
If you get the veterans in the group doing that,
Yeah.
you'd be golden, because then you could, the future generations of flyers, you're gonna be able to guide them in the right way.
Yeah.
And then he can guide the people building and getting everything going. Like I said, 13 World's future is bright. You guys do a great job. I give you guys a lot of credit for what you do. I've only been doing it, I did it one season, and I felt like I was falling apart. And you guys have been doing this longer than I have.
But at the end, it was worth it. You come and help us. You help us with this, and
Well, yeah, I mean, I actually had post-haunt season depression. Cause like the first weekend, like after there was no haunt, it was gone. I was like, I wanna go back, I don't wanna do this, I wanna go back,
so your weekends got tied up, and now you gotta go back to reality.
I hate reality.
You can't hang out on the weekends and.
Well, no, you can. Everybody just has to make it a point to do it.
Yeah.
Not talk about it, do it. But you know what I mean? So it's, I don't know. I actually found it more rewarding for myself to do, just because I got to do something. I mean, I had a little haunt in my front yard. I did. It was all right. It wasn't 13 World, but it was all right. And that really sparked my real true love of wanting to open a haunted attraction, work at one, and then now here I am. And I'm having fun because everybody here teaches me stuff, gives me tips. If I have a question, I could go to Zeke, I could go to Nell, I could go to Rich and go, hey, I got a question. Or I could go to you and you'd be like, all right, you do it this way, that way, whatever. And that's cool, because there's some place that won't tell you nothing, which is stupid. Because you don't want to have a point, you want to share it, because what are you going to do, take the secrets to the grave? You know what I mean? Like, I feel it's better to help everybody out, you know?
You're just trying to have fun. It's like,
it's
not
fun.
taking anything seriously.
Yeah, no, you're having fun. I mean, I realized, like, with the snow and everything that we had, and with everybody, I was just like, let's just go balls to the wall, whatever happens, happens, just don't hurt yourself or anybody else. And it was probably the most fun that we've had, because nobody was trying to be something they weren't, like trying to be like extra clowny or whatever. When you're a clown or whatever it is in your set, just go with it, have fun, just roll with it. And usually you end up having, for me, I don't know about you guys, I find it's more successful when you don't think about it, you just do it.
Yeah.
You know, like sitting there, and it's like the start of the night, and the first group's coming through, and you get the first group, you're like, oh, all right, first group's done, and then throughout the night goes on. That's like the longest part, is the beginning.
Oh yeah.
And then once it's like the middle of the night, you get your groove, and you know you're just ready to scare people. And
Yeah, because the first night I worked, I was like, what do I do? I don't know.
I know.
I'm trying. I'm like, well, what do I do? All right, let me try this. Nah, it don't work. And then
because it's not just saying boo. It's not.
I hate that.
You can't.
Any haunted attraction out there, do not have your actors yell boo. That's just so bad. Be more creative than that. You can say other words besides boo.
And raw, don't do that.
Yeah, no rah, no boo.
Don't do raw.
Yeah, don't do that. Just
We actually have to make small talk with people. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like.
Or you can have there was a group of girls that came through one night, and there was a little backup. People trying to space out from people, and they go, "Hey, can we drink right here?" And I'm like, "No." And they still brought out the bottles, and I was like, "Really?" Like, crowds are weird. You just get weird people.
They all.
But I do hate like having the first couple groups. I don't know about you guys,
Yeah.
because every night you have to reset and get back into.
Especially the weekend, so you get that weekend done, and then the next weekend, that Friday night when you're opening, it's always that one, you know, you just went through a week of work, and now you're ready.
You
Well, in
gotta
my case, I gotta go to school.
Yeah, you gotta get your mind back into it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's and then it usually takes me about 20 to 30 minutes to get into a groove, because you don't know what kind of clientele you got coming through, and you're trying to play to that clientele. Because from what I was able to see, from what everybody did, with all the videos going around, you guys, everybody has that problem. No, I've never seen anybody bring it back, because you gotta have a bad day at school or work or something that day, and it totally railroads what you were doing that day. I don't know.
Yeah, last year, I didn't get to scare as much, but I was too busy managing Skinham Farms, but I mean, in the end of the day, I mean, I still had fun last year, but I did definitely struggle a little bit last year with the amount of people that I had in the set, and I was kind of the boss, you know. I had to show them. I had like 7 new people, and everybody was new. The only one that wasn't new was my girlfriend Hannah. So besides that, I was managing the entire field. I mean, we did good. You know, a little bit at the end of the season, they were falling apart. They were tired.
Yeah, people don't realize.
It takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it does, and you're doing this 3 nights a week, sometimes depending upon where in the season. If the weather cooperates, you could have that Thursday, like before Halloween, depending upon how Halloween falls. And it's just pure pandemonium and chaos, and just like, there was so many nights that I'm just sitting there, like, I was in a jacket box.
Yeah.
And I was
bent over.
I was standing, and then eventually John had brought the chair.
Yeah.
So I just said, I'm stealing the chair. Poor guy. And I put the chair inside the box and I would just sit. And then I figured out to use the foam bat and it made it pop. And that's what I was getting people with, the pop. But
Another funny one is when you accidentally bump into somebody,
oh yeah.
and then they look at you and like, you just bumped into me, you're not supposed to touch me. We don't do that on purpose.
Yeah,
It's not on purpose.
No, because you don't, especially being out in the woods,
Yeah.
and you're doing things, there's roots, there's rocks, there's stuff, and you're tripping over stuff, you're trying not to. Some of the support boards, ones that were going, behind the scenes,
And then you trip over them.
I turned, like the holes in the plastic, I was scaring, and I turned, went left, and smacked my forehead right into the board. And I had a little gap, like a little tiny little cut. And I was like, forget it. And I had a little blood coming, I was still wipe it off, keep going. But I wasn't near anybody because I didn't have a mask. I had the face paint, so I had to stay away from people, and that was cool.
Yeah.
So, but anything else you guys want to add before we get out of here?
I don't think so.
Well, thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to do this. I love the set. This thing's sick. I can't wait to see it actually, working in real life. That's what I want. So, but anyway, thank you guys again for doing this and being part of this. And until next time, everybody, stay freaky, y'all. Peace.
What did you say? I saw a number. The Abbey has a long history. But not all good. Jimmy, Conrad's here.